I've been told that I need to be in front of a camera all the time. All the time. And this is actually the perfect spot to film, and I'm going to start filming here from now on, because there's no people. People don't come back here. Ever. Every time I've ever walked through here, I've never seen a person come, of course, knock on wood. Now somebody's going to come around the corner, but this is like the perfect location. And it's also the perfect location for me, because I fucking love my solitude. I don't like to be around people. People scare me. People upset me. People make me angry. People make me sad. I don't like people. I have to know you. Like, I have to know you, and I have to really fuck with you, and I have to have known you for an extended period. Otherwise, I don't want you around me. I know that sounds like antisocial and, almost sociopathic, but like, people kind of suck. With that being said, and keeping in mind how much people suck, alone time is very important. Alone time is extremely important. That's why I'm out here in nature. I spend a lot of time outside because it's good for your health. Science says it. Religion says it. Spirituality says it. Every religious leader and scientist and philosopher and doctor and mental health professional, every psychologist, every sociologist, everyone who is brilliant and knows a lot of things that we don't know will tell you to get outside and get some sunlight and some fresh air and some blue sky, because it is everything. This is the way. You get all your downloads and you get all the important information you need out here. If anybody is curious about my political and social beliefs and whatnot, I don't really talk about that a lot publicly on the internet. I am a green anarchist. Now, basically, my whole view of everything is that we need to just kind of start over. We need to get rid of the government and the state legislature and all of that. Just burn it down. Just get rid of it. Get rid of the money. And then we just create a system where we collaborate and we work together and we trade back and forth and left and right. And everything that we do is out of love and out of compassion. And we all work together to move the species forward. That is my philosophy on everything, really. Politics, religion, life in general. Unfortunately, my worldview does not coincide very well with what the rest of the world believes in. There's a lot of people in this world. In fact, unfortunately, the majority of people in this world, they believe a lot of garbage. Are we gonna get into this? Are we gonna get into this in this video? We might get into that in this video. I am not a religious man. I'm very anti-religion. I have a lot of issues with religion. And are we going to talk about that? Should we talk about that? I think we should talk about that. Yeah. Because this initially started as what? I'm now, talking about my distaste for people, right? Going back to my distaste for people, my distaste for, like, society at large. The reason that people have called me antisocial in the past, but people mostly just comment on how quiet I am, and they're like, I gotta get to the bottom of you, I gotta figure you out. My friend Helix actually made a comment about it way back when. He was like, you're so quiet, you're just like a ghost. Sometimes I don't even know that you're there. I just don't like regular conversation. I almost feel like I wasn't supposed to be born here. Like I was supposed to be born on another planet. And it's very isolating. It's a very isolating feeling. I feel like I can't relate to anyone anymore. And I've been going through a bit of a spiritual awakening, more or less. I hate to even use that term or that label, because it feels worn out, and it feels very, I don't know. I don't feel that the term spiritual awakening really does justice. I think it's, much more than that. But I feel very alone a lot of the time. And it's not because I don't have friends or family or whatever. I'm just a different breed, man. I literally just explained on camera what I believe in to all of you, and I guarantee you some of you are you're gonna watch this video and you're gonna think, this guy is off his fucking rocker. This guy's crazy. He's just totally out there. I am. If you want to get technical about it, I am as far to the left as you can possibly be. I'm like to the left of Karl Marx, basically, at this point. And what did it for me, man, was just working in a manufacturing plant. Like, working in that plant sucked the soul out of me to the point where I was like, the CEO of this company at the very least, makes millions, if not billions of dollars a year. And here I am, slaving away for $17 an hour, 8-hour days, doing the same repetitive, monotonous horse shit all day long. Basically, what my job there was I used to take these big metal semi-parts. So like car doors, the hood of the car, just different parts of the exterior of the semi. I would take them off of these metal docks with these like locks that would hold them in place. I'd step up on the dock and grab it and carry it down to the conveyor belt, lock it on the conveyor belt, and then it would go through a whole process where it would like go through a bunch of weird chemical baths and get shocked with a bunch of electromagnetic rays and shit. It was weird. It was a strange thing. I had never been in like a factory, production plant type of environment before. This was a first for me. And it was very physical work, and it was very physically demanding, and it was very soulless. I was just doing the same mechanical function over and over and over again all day long. I felt like a machine. And as I'm doing all of this, I'm like, man, somebody out there owns this company and they make millions of dollars a year off of our labor. And it got me thinking about how slavery never really went away, did it? Slavery never went away. It just evolved. It just became, nowadays, most people are slaves and they don't even know it. It just became normal to be a slave. Most people, they don't even realize it. They're not even aware of how enslaved they are. They just go to work every day and come home and they wake up and they repeat, and that's all they do all day long. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. I have a day job, but I at least, make time to come outside and pursue my passions and work toward something, do something else other than just work, And it just got me thinking, man, capitalism is a sickness. Capitalism is a sickness, and I wasn't going to get political in this video or get, sociological or any of that, but, there is a class of people in this country who are the minority who control everything. They control the corporations, they control the government, they control the stock market, they control everything. They control all the news and information you get to hear. And they've spent the last 50 years lobbying to get what they want. To quote George Carlin, and I'm going to quote him again, they are lobbying to get what they want. And we know what they want. They want more for themselves. They want less for everybody else. But you know what they don't want? You know what they don't want? They don't want a nation of people who are capable of critical thinking. It is not in their interests. They don't want families to get together and sit down and think about how they're getting fucked by a system that ran them overboard 50 fucking years ago. None of us are being compensated fairly for our labor at all. The price of rent is going up and up and up. Groceries, gas, everything else that we can't afford. The prices of everything are going up, but the wages are staying the same. And it's because the powers that be want you to be scared. They want you to live your life in fear. They want you to live a life of scarcity. And the reason that they want that is because it makes you a better consumer. People who are scared, people who are emotionally disaffected are better consumers, and they're more likely to buy into the propaganda. That's why religion, this video is going to piss so many people off, I don't care. That's why religion is pushed so heavily in this country. Particularly, what religion? Predominantly Christianity. You know, all of these televangelists, right? You know, televangelists were the big craze back in the day. Not so much anymore, but there are still a lot of them around. But really back in, like, when I remember when I was growing up, the mid-2000s, right? Like the early 2000s, like from 05 to like 2010-ish, somewhere in there. Or even like 2012, up to 2012, because everybody thought the world was going to end. But I remember growing up as a kid, I remember how big televangelists were. And I was like, yo. I knew back then they were full of shit. And the thing is, I was too young to really know why I knew that or understand why I knew that. But I just knew they were clown people that lived in a clown world. Even back then, when I was a kid. My grandmother loved Joel Osteen and that other hack that I can't remember the name of. But televangelists are the biggest pieces of shit that walk this planet. They use God and they use spirituality as a way to take your money. They get up there and they recite all these Bible verses and they give you all this promise of if you just get down on your knees and pray to the magic sky daddy, everything is going to be okay and your life's going to turn out great. And if you pray hard enough, you'll become as rich as me. Well, ain't that the biggest fucking bullshit story I've ever heard in my entire life? Reality doesn't work that way, but a lot of people during that time and even now are still convinced that it works that way. You know, God, the higher power that runs this whole operation here, is not going to give you anything, just award you shit that you didn't work for, that you didn't earn, that you didn't put yourself in a position to get in the first place. Right? No God in the sky is going to do that for you. It's up to you at the end of the day. And it's up to me, despite hating capitalism and thinking that it's like the worst, most abhorrent fucking system ever created, I still have to participate in it, right? I was born in America, okay? I was born in a capitalist country. I was born in the United States. I'm a citizen of the United States. And as a citizen of the United States, I've been put in a position where these are the cards I've been dealt. And this is the game that I have to play. And I'm going to play it. You know, I want to make a living doing this and making music. And that's it. Those are the two things that I want to do. And I look at it from the perspective of like, bro, if they can do it, if they can escape from wage slavery and make millions of dollars or make however much money they make, a living, right? Because that's really the goal at the end of the day. They can make a living doing what I'm doing right now. If other people are making a living doing that, why can't I do the same goddamn thing? That's how I look at it. If you can't beat them, you got to join them. It's unfortunate. I mean, I hate it. I hate that this is the system I was born into. I think it's evil. I think it's very inhumane. I think that what happened over time was that we as human beings got sidetracked and diverted, and we looked to answers outside of ourselves. I think the whole human species, for the most part, the good majority of us have been conditioned to think that way. And you could say that, oh, you know, this is just how we're naturally wired, but I disagree, because how many things in life, big things, really big projects, have you ever been able to accomplish on your own? Human beings need each other, right? Hell, we need each other to keep all of this running, to keep society running in the first place. So when people make that argument, whenever I, talk about whenever I talk about how corrupt I think capitalism is and how I think anarchy is the answer, people say, well, that goes against human nature. That's the big argument. We're humans. This is just how we're wired. And I don't think that's true, because I think most people, unless they're born with some, like, their wires are just legitimately crossed, which a lot of people are that way, but I think most of us have a general sense of compassion and empathy and love for other people. You know, for the most part, it's just when atrocities happen in this world, when legitimate atrocities happen in this world, people, their guttural instinct is to justify it depending on how the crime is committed. I'll give you an example, right? So we're bombing the shit out of Gaza right now, and I predict that pretty soon Gaza's going to be gone. There's going to be no more Gaza. There's going to be no more Palestinians in that region of the country. Or the world, I mean, I'm sorry. In that region of the world. And people, I'm not going to say what political party they belong to, because we all know, certain people, I'm not talking about anyone specifically, certain people justify it because we need to get our hostages back, right? We need to get our hostages back. We need to, we need to stay on the good side of Israel. You know, they've been our allies forever. We don't have a choice. Somehow being anti-genocide makes you anti-Semitic. Isn't it funny how that works? Like, what? When did that become a thing? So I'm against genocide, so that means I hate Jewish people. Isn't that ironic? But it just goes to show you that people don't think critically. That's why they fall for things. That's why people are so gullible. And if you're a Christian watching this, you've probably left by now. If you haven't left by now, you're free to stay. You know, even if I disagree with you politically and socially and, ideologically, you're free to stay. You're free to be a fan of mine. I'm not going to turn you away. If you want to stay, stay. If you want to go, go. That's your choice. Just wanted to make that clear. I'm not trying to alienate anyone. I'm giving my opinion, because I have one, and that's my American right. I think that some people want to censor free speech, both on the left and the right. There's a lot of censorship going on, and there's a lot of, you can't say this, or you can't think this. I don't like that. I don't like that coming from the left or the right. I'm going to say what I want, and I'm going to tell people how I feel. And this is my channel, and these are my thoughts, and it's my First Amendment right to say whatever the fuck I want. That's the thing. A lot of people will get angry and offended and get upset when you say certain things, and they try to police your speech and say, you can't say that. You can't say that. Why not? Liberals do it with, with race and with sexual identity. And then conservatives do it with religion and guns and the American flag. Both groups, they have these things that they've attached themselves to that have become their whole identity. And if you criticize any of it, you're going to piss off one of those two groups. It's just this monolithic hive mind, and the two sides are clashing in with each other. And then there's people like me who are off the fucking grid that don't identify with any of this shit, who are just sitting back like, damn, you guys are really retarded. I don't really know where this video is going. I wanted to give my thoughts on things. I may upload this entire video. This could be what I could do, and I actually think it's pretty smart, is start like a video diary series where I just ramble on and on and on. Like, give it like rant number 1 or rant number 2, rant number 3, make it like a diary entry series that I do. So I have my videos that are more like concise, where I have a specific topic that I want to talk about, and then I have my videos like right now where I'm just fucking ranting and raving. Because here's the thing. I feel like when I try to do these structured videos where I, have a specific topic that I want to talk about, and it's like bullet points that are spewing through my head, that's cool, and that's all well and good, and I still want to make those videos, but I also want you guys to get to know me on a more personal level. I feel like I don't let you in enough, and I want to let you in more, and I want you to get to know me, and I get to know you, and you know, because that's really what I'm trying to do at the end of the day, is build a community and help people, you know, help people who feel broken and disaffected, and, you know, let them know, hey, it's okay, I'm here for you, we're here for each other, and, you know, we can never be alone if we have each other. So, yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm excited to get back on this journey and really, like, gain a fan base, you know. I've decided this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do. This is video diary number 1. There will be many more. There's going to be at least 6,000 of them, more than likely, because I'm going to do one every week. I'm going to do at least one every week. I may do multiple every week. I don't know. I'm going to do at least one of these diary entries every week. And yeah. And what I'll do too is, I mean, I'll chop them up into shorts too, so I can direct people to my channel, you know, more easily. Because unfortunately the short-term content, it gets more viewership and engagement because we have we have attention spans of goldfish now. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can see my beautiful face every time I upload. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Peace, love, and light.